There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
That's a thing. Those are things.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
These
god.
must be interceptors,
Oh my
no?
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
It works.
Correct Iron Dome? Does the Iron Dome, wouldn't this be the Golden Dome or something different? Or is there a name,
more
like
over
Jericho,
there.
whatever the fuck, I don't know what it is.
Oh
I thought the
my
Iron Dome can
God.
only intercept rockets. Last time I asked, but I don't get it for real, why would it be that bad for Iran to have a nuke? The immediate badness would be the potential of them nuking somebody, especially Israel, or Saudi Arabia. Neither of them would be very happy about that, number one. And number two, it allows them to continue to fund proxy militants and do a lot of bad military stuff, and it makes them a bit more impervious to attacks from people, especially like Israel, because now everybody's going to say the same shit that they say about Russia. And dude, people are frothing, especially all these lefties and dipshits in the West. But like people in these countries are frothing to be able to say, oh, hold on, can't attack us, we got nukes. Don't attack us, we've got nukes. World War III, nukes. You can't attack us, we got nukes, right? It's just a big off shield, basically. Is Iran targeting civilians? And if so, is there going to be a UN condemnation? Iran is, my guess is going to be the attacks back towards Israel are going to be relatively indiscriminate. I'm going to, first of all, Israel's military stuff is kind of close-ish to their people. And if they're just lobbing ballistic missiles over, I don't know, like the precision that they can target for anything. That being said, Iran itself is never going to be, from my understanding, is never going to be like trying to murder mass civilians, because it's just not how Iran operates. They would rather do that through their proxy groups. It's my understanding. And just like that, U.S. forces are involved. Breaking. U.S. forces are participating in defeating the Iranian attack on Israel, Israeli officials say. U.S. forces here probably means like ships that we have in the Mediterranean, or some type of like surveillance or recon or whatever, not like troops on the ground or whatever. Multiple ballistic missile impacts in central Israel. So Israel does not intercept missiles for the Iron Dome at least. I don't know if the Slingshot David bullshit does this, but for the Iron Dome or whatever, will not intercept missiles that it has determined are landing outside of city limits. So just because ballistic missiles are hitting inside of Israel doesn't necessarily mean that they're hitting buildings. Although I saw a couple blowing up, I guess, in Tel Aviv. Is there like a death count or anything right now, or is anybody dead? Destiny, how serious of an escalation will we see if Iran goes after U.S. ships in the region now that we are involved? We're not really involved, and they won't go after U.S. ships because that would be fucking retarded. 0 deaths so far and 16 wounded. How does nobody die from missile strikes? So this is insane. This is insanely crazy. But in Israel, one of the things that they do, since they're under attack by people so much, is they actually take a lot of the building material that they have and they actually build shelters for their citizens, so that when there are incoming attacks, the citizens don't get immediately fucking killed. The reason why they do this is because Israel has not learned the language of the West, and they are cocked losers that are trying to minimize the amount of civilian deaths, as opposed to Hamas, who are GigaChad-based gods who try to maximize civilian deaths so that they can take videos and run around screaming when children are being killed so that people like Hassan can amplify the propaganda. Is there a chance Israel would let a missile or two through the Iron Dome to say they're in danger just by future action? Probably not. I think that would require a lot. Iranian ballistic missile striking Tel Aviv city in central Israel. Civilian target. My guess would be for I doubt Iran like necessarily targets civilian stuff in Israel. They probably just lob missiles and hope that they hit, right? But I don't know. I'm kind of making that up. I don't know 100%. My guess is Iran has relatively crude-ish, like ballistic missiles, but I could be wrong. Damn. Is Iran filming this and broadcasting this? Is that true? Is this real?
Moments ago, Iranian missiles were launched towards Israel, and from what I understand, multiple missiles have not been successfully intercepted. Remember, this is a multi-billion-dollar operation. You got Tamir intercept. interceptors that are for the smaller munitions, like and you have the arrow systems in Israel as well. But then on top of that, you have anti-defense missile systems to protect Israel and Jordan, and you have the entirety of the American Central Command working actively to stop, working actively in real time to stop all of these.
Working actively in real time. What?
From touching a hair on the head of anyone in Israel. And even then, in spite of all of that, Iranian missiles have been able to penetrate into Tel Aviv, as you have.
It's so crazy how this guy is cheering for Iran. Like, at some point, you got to realize that you're the baddies, right? At some point, you have to realize it. At some point, you have to realize that you're the bad guy. Somehow, some Iranian missiles are breaking through, guys. Yes.
Have seen before, and they're still doing it. I mean, you can see it. Look, the ones that are flying from the ground are the interceptor missiles. They're anti-defense missile systems, and yet, in spite of that, the Iron Dome can be overwhelmed, as the Iranian retaliation last time around showed. This seemingly, according to Elant News, who's in the chat already, appears to be in the vicinity of IDF headquarters.
That is a positive framing also. There are any ESL people here. In spite of, like, is usually like a cheering on, like, in spite of this, he managed to persevere. Usually the word you'd be looking for here, if you were being more neutral, you'd just say despite Israel's Iron Dome, Iranian missiles managed to crack through their defenses. In spite of that, they managed to do it. The little missile that could.
We don't have enough information coming yet. Obviously, Israel also has deep censorship laws. I mean, even though they got hella smartphones out there, and there's like literally Israeli chatters in here who can just.
Israeli is the country with deep censorship laws in this conflict? What?
Like confirm or deny what's going on. But I think last time when this happened, the Israeli military immediately applied censorship and tried to stop the information from coming out, like confirming strike targets and whatnot.
I don't even, what is he talking about? There's like literally, there's a big app, Redfar, I don't know what it's called in Israel, to show you where strikes are going to be, where there's warnings for, where there's sirens that go off to have you hide places. Everybody's got a fucking cell phone. They're connected to the internet. What is he talking about?
But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because obviously in the interim there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that the Iranian attacks are doing way more damage than we can tell, and Israel's covering it up or something like that. That's my bad. I wasn't being retarded enough. Jesus. I need to do like a whole bunch of DMS, what is it, cough syrup or whatever, to make yourself fucking retarded before I cover Hassan shit, and then I'll be able to understand it better.
There's going to be some misinformation. There's going to be a lot of misinformation flying around as always. So just, you know, be aware of that when you're bringing in information here, and try to go after trusted resources. I suspect
CNN mentioned that the IDF told people not to confirm targets today. Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, people are still recording everything, and shit is going to get posted regardless. Like, hello, we've literally seen people on their fucking phones posting live recordings of, there's literally live camera feeds over Tel Aviv. Like, hello? I mean,
that Iran is not done yet. This barrage is just simply the first salvo. There will be more that comes. They have to.
Famously, the first salvo is always the weakest. You want to lead with the weakest so that your opponent has time to get all of their shit in line and be ready to receive your next salvo.
In terms of self-preservation, self-defense, and ensuring that they do not get completely eviscerated, I suspect that the Iranian government's calculation here is going to be part restrained, so not so aggressive that they actively try to take out like heads of state or anything like that. Just like Israel itself
What? He thinks that Israeli heads of state are surviving just because Iran is unable to take them out? Or I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did the exasperating thing for the opposite of what he's saying. He's saying that Israeli heads of state survive because Iran chooses not to take them out?
demonstrates some of that restraint in comparison to how belligerent they are when